Greetings and welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about inflation, demand, and eggs. I wasn't originally going to do this topic, but once again this morning I was at the store. The price of eggs had gone up, 18 eggs for about $7.50, which is getting close to 3 times what it cost a year ago. Now the CPI report doesn't exactly show that. I'm curious to see what next month's CPI report shows for December, because a lot of the price hikes that I've seen have been this month, so in December of 2022. As you can see from the latest CPI report, eggs are up 49.1% from November of last year and 2.3% over the month before. Cost of eggs has risen significantly more than any other item in the food at home category. Flour is second at almost 25% over the past year. Eggs seem to have been hit by the perfect storm, and the demand curve of eggs explains why inflation has hit them so hard. Eggs have an inelastic demand curve like gasoline. I'll go over the basics. This is the basic price quantity graph we use in economics. An inelastic demand curve is more vertical than an elastic one. Basically, what it means is the quantity purchased doesn't change much based on the price. For anyone wondering, I'm not covering the supply curve in equilibrium, I'm just covering the basics of the demand curve. So let's say that this demand curve is the demand curve for eggs. People generally buy the same amount of gas and eggs that they would no matter how much the price changes. In this example, the price has about doubled, but the quantity demanded has only decreased slightly. People are likely to buy about the same amount of eggs no matter what the price is. Here I have the blue elastic demand line, and that could represent televisions, clothing, or soft drinks. In this case, if the price doubles, the quantity decreases significantly. This article is from Forbes from November 26th of 2022, and it states that inflation, believe it or not, impacts farms and more specifically chickens. The more it costs to feed and raise chickens, the more it costs to buy eggs and chicken meat at the grocery store as farms pass their higher costs on to consumers. Supply issues also impact the price of eggs. If the annual strain of bird flu is severe, it can cause egg prices to rise because the supply of both chickens and eggs drops significantly. With demand still high but less supply, prices rise. Now, they did have a significant bird flu or avian flu outbreak earlier this year. The article goes on to state that while the bird flu reduces the number of eggs that can be shipped, there have also been supply chain issues, including the increased cost of diesel gas and decreased workforce. This makes it more difficult and expensive to get eggs from farms and onto grocery store shelves. The good news is that supply chain issues are within our control. More workers can be employed, and with the Federal Reserve raising interest rates, prices will hopefully come down. This includes the cost of diesel fuel. I'm going to get into wages here shortly and show the impact of that on inelastic goods like eggs. Next, I want to mention inflation and wages. Wages have increased over the past couple of years. I'm not saying they've kept up with inflation, but they have definitely gone up. In this example, we have a company, small company with 10 full-time workers working about 2,000 hours a year at $10 an hour, which is $200,000 a year in expenses. And we see if we have to increase the wages to $15 an hour, we have our same 10 workers, 2,000 hours a year, $15 an hour is about $300,000 a year. Where is the extra $100,000 coming from? It'll be things like eggs. Retailers and sellers can't really double the price of electronics or soft drinks, those inelastic items. But things like eggs, gasoline, things that are inelastic, they can increase the prices significantly to make up for what they're losing on everything else. So, like I said, with like televisions, you don't see the price of those doubling. In fact, they've probably stayed the same. In some cases, have gone down even over the last year. But when it comes to eggs or gasoline, price goes up significantly because yes, if the price goes up, the demand doesn't really change that much. So they have to increase the price of those items more to make up for the fact that they can't increase the prices of the elastic item. I don't want to downplay the role that avian flu has had in this situation. In fact, it's probably the biggest contributor from what I can tell. However, the rising cost of diesel and wages have also increased the price of eggs. It's been like the perfect storm. Again, eggs have increased more than any other food item over the last year. I expect them to continue to go up at this point. I'm not sure. They said that to replenish the flock, as it were, would take maybe 6 months or so, which we should be heading into soon. So hopefully it'll start coming down in the spring, but it's still going up currently. So I don't foresee it going down for some time yet. However, hopefully we don't get to $10 for an 18 pack of eggs, but we're getting close and it could happen. Anyway, if you like this content, consider subscribing, give the video a like, and until next time, if you're going to retire, retire to something.